first recorded DIY. As you can see, I started out with pallets. And originally I was going to make a bed frame for my daughter. However, the bed would still slide, so it was just a waste of time. And I had this great idea that I would make a headboard. So I took some of the pieces from that crate, pounded it out with a hammer, and I attached them. As you can see, I originally started painting it. So I attached them with some wood nails, and I left 2 spaces because I'm going to do something kind of special, probably pictures or something. And I sanded as much as I possibly can. I rounded edges, and you know, some of the wood is split, but that's okay because the paint that I'm going to do is going to be kind of like a faux finish. There's my dog helping out, and then this is going to be kind of like a little shelf. So I just finished sanding everything, so now I'm going to wipe it clean and then begin painting. One thing I did want to mention is that before you have your child running to you saying, "Oh, I got a splinter," you want to just take some regular sandpaper, just kind of go over, just check everything out, make sure that you got any kind of loose splinters before you start painting, because even though you paint, you know, there's that possibility that, you know, one might pop off. So I just go over it with some just regular sandpaper, and, you know, of course I be very careful so that way I do not get a splinter while I'm doing this. So that's just a safety precaution that I like to do, just to make sure that you don't have your little one crying that their beautiful headboard just hurt them. You want to kind of get all the dust out. And you know, when I did the bigger projects of the boards itself, I used the palm sander, and then like I showed you before, I used a just a regular piece of sandpaper. Now, not every board is perfect, but you know what, I can work with that. You know, there's this piece right here which I decided I'm going to use because it's got that roughness right there and right here, that I would use that for the bottom. So that's going to be hidden from the bed anyways. And I just use a regular, this is kind of like a painter's brush. So I just make sure I get every little crevice, because the last thing you want is to have dust in your paint, because then that causes, I was going to say bubbles, but it actually causes it to flake. So you just want to make sure you get in between the boards, in between the slats right there. Under, you know, some of these are kind of like rounded, so you want to kind of get in there before you start painting. You know, and I do have nail and screw holes, so you want to make sure that that is cleared off. You can always use one of those dusters that you use for computers. That would actually work pretty good, just to give you some ideas. But after I finish this, I'll be able to put my first coat, which will be a very fast coat, because with faux finishing, it's okay. You just want a regular base, and then you work with it, and then we'll have a lot of fun, because that is my favorite part. So I'm going to stir my pink paint, and we're going to get that nice and smooth, and then we will pour it into the painter's pan, which is right here. And I just do a little at a time, because you don't want to really have any drippage. I kind of just mess with it a little bit. Okay, so now that I have that here, just to kind of get in between all these little parts here, because it's easier just to kind of dab it in there. And then I'll use this small little roller for the main pallet pieces, because it'll just be a lot easier. All my in-betweens, and I did have to use a really small brush to get in these little tiny areas right here. And here I used the shimmy, so that way the wood would attach well. And I also did the sides that you can actually see once the board is up. It's not perfect, but it's okay. We're gonna fix that. And I did cover with the paint some of the little holes, but like I said, this is the bottom piece, so I'm not as concerned. I just want the ones that are going to be exposed to be perfect. and I'm getting ready to use my roller. I finally finished painting it. I didn't realize how tedious I did need to be because of how close these slats are. I actually had to go underneath with a paintbrush and paint in between all these slats so that way you don't see the paint. Now it's not perfect, but like I said, it's okay. We're going to be doing some faux finishing, and I think I decided on the top part here to put either a fabric or something, kind of cool. We are trying to do a Paris theme, so I'm hoping I can find something that would correlate with that. All right, so we got to do our dry time now, and when we come back, we will do the faux finishing. Okay, now I've never done this before. I'm going to try something new with my faux finishing. I usually like to use cheesecloth, but I'm going to take these little rollers that I have here, and I'm just going to kind of cut some. Let me just do some other little ones here and there. I'm curious how this will turn out, but so it'll be something we figure out together. Okay, since I used my pink last time, we're now going to do some purple because our room is pink and purple. So I kind of want to keep the same colors engaged here. Okay, and I didn't realize that that the little rollers were two different sizes, so I kind of had to makeshift that right there. So let's see what we can do. I'm using the ones I just did the little slivers on, and I decided to go sideways. You can't see it that well, but I'm sure in a different lighting it'll come together. See here how I did that there. Those are just shadows from underneath the palm trees. So I'm just kind of rolling it this way. I didn't want to put too much paint on it because I was afraid it was going to fill all the slithers. So, okay, so we did a little bit here. Now let's move on to the other one. See, I'm just lightly, I'm not pushing down, I'm just trying to coat it a little bit. Even though it's the same color, we'll see what we come up with. I'll try it right here. It's kind of neat, just trying something new. Just the fill, because I decided we're going to do a little bit of fun stuff. This is just the beginning. So, I'm just trying to look for some spots that are kind of bare. And just putting a little here, a little there. Remember, I don't have to pay too much attention to the bottom because that's not going to show. That's actually going to be pressed up against the bed itself. So, all right, I think we're good there. And just in case I don't do anything, I'm just going to do a little here, a little there. I haven't really decided. We'll figure it out along the way. Well, I decided to cut out a picture that the glass had broken and the outside had actually ripped, so I cut it up. And my daughter is a golfer, so I wanted to let her know that it's all about success, and has a little golf hole here. And since I don't have any decoupage and I do not want to go to the store, I'm going to attempt to use puzzle glue, and then we'll see the other cool thing I'm going to do. Okay, so I didn't want to bore you guys with all that tediousness. However, I didn't think this very through because I had a hard time keeping this level against the wall. So I had to brace it in, and thankfully I only had to use this one. So I'll put that cute little picture my daughter made right in front of it. So now if you see, I have all my little giraffe looking designs, and I put little clothespins so that way she can put her pictures up. And then I just spent the time putting all these lights in with the these little tiny hooks they use for sometimes Christmas lights, hanging keys, whatever. And I got these little things right here that were just stickers, and it says laugh every day, live every moment, in love beyond words. I thought those were kind of cool words to go by. So I have one more little idea that I'm going to do. So give me a few minutes and I will show you it. So what I did to finish it off, just to kind of hide the lights a little bit because we have a cat that likes to eat everything. So I went ahead and used those little clips that I used for the lights just to hold it in place, kind of keep the lights back a little bit. And that's actually the same material I used to make this design with spray paint. So, and as you can see, I did remove the original label because the puzzle glue did not work or hold, and neither did the tacky glue. So here it is, my completed project.